we have an amazing guest in the house, which is coming to dissect. She's coming to tell us all about parenting. Her name is Jayne of Fabmumng. How are you doing, man?
I'm very well, thank you.
How you doing, Jayne?
I'm fine.
You don't look like a strict parent at all.
Hey.
You're cool.
Hey. Okay, you'll find out. You'll find out.
I love that. I decided to bring that out. You look relaxed and
you'll find
calm.
out.
You look like all this lovey mom.
Okay, you'll find out.
Okay, so today we are talking about parenting, and we are so excited that you came on board today.
Thank you.
So now, a lot of people want to know, what would you say is the full meaning of parenting to you?
So is there really a one-size definition? I'll just say parenting is the act of raising a child and everything that comes in between.
Okay.
So parenting is basically how you groom a child, how you nurture a child, whatever it is that takes you that you need to do to raise a child, to nurture a child, is what parenting entails.
Okay.
So I'm coming from the aspect of I don't know if you have a male child or if you have both male and female.
No,
child.
I don't. I have just females.
Just have females. Okay.
Females are.
It's I wanted to even come from the part of raising a male child. Would you say there's a difference in raising a male child and raising a female child?
I would say there's a slight difference. I don't have a male child. I have all girls, but I have a brother.
Okay.
And so I think the only experience, about raising a male child be what I saw my mom, do with my brother. I think it's a little bit more challenging raising a female child.
Oh, okay.
In my opinion, than a male child.
Okay.
But again, that's my opinion, because I
opinion.
feel that for a male child, once you get the basics, you need a father who is very hands-on. Because I'm like, for a son, his father is his first major role model.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once the father gets it right, once the father acts right, it's a little easier for a boy to catch up. But for the girls, a lot of dynamics. For puberty, with girls, you are dealing with the body changes, which is more physical. You are dealing with menstruation. You are dealing with hormones, boyfriend issues, crushes. But with boys, it's almost like a straight jacket. You know what I mean? So I feel like with girls, it's a little bit more technical. You just have to be her friend, be the parent, and employ friendship as a tool. Know when there's time to be a parent, and there's time to be the friend. So do you really need to be your child's friend? No. But you can use friendship as a tool.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Do you really need to be your child's friend?
No.
But
In
you
my
can
opinion,
use
friendship as a tool.
I'm going to come back to that. But I want to ask this question. There's a popular saying that there are good parents and there are bad parents. So I want to ask, how would you say, or what would you say a parent is capable of doing to be a good parent or a bad parent?
When I was much younger and before I became a parent, when I see some children act a certain way, I judge the parents automatically. I'd be like, this one no try.
They're not trained
This one no train them. But now that I'm a parent myself and raising my daughters, I just realized that at the end of the day, whatever your child, you really do not have control over what your child becomes. But you just pray that whatever it is you've imbibed in that child, the child remembers it. Because outside of the home, you have the external influence. So of course, you've done your whole intentional parenting. You've said, okay, this is right, this is wrong, don't do this, don't do that. But you really do not have control over what your child does outside of the home. So what you'll be depending on is, okay, I just hope that all the things I've poured into that child imbibes it. So I would say do your best as a parent, but realize that at the end of the day, your child will not turn out the way you want him or her, and that does not mean that you failed.
Beautiful.
It doesn't mean you failed, but the most important thing is do your best.
Yes.
With parenting, there's really no one size fits all. You can do. I want to believe I am an intentional parent, but I still grapple with some issues with my children, my daughters. Telling lies, peer pressure, and that's even me that is even putting in the effort. How much more a parent who doesn't do all of that? Then we are also up against parents who don't even try. So you're training your child at home, your child is going to school and mixing up with the bad eggs. So you see, parenting is not a one-off, it's an everyday continuous process. So are there really bad parents? Of course there are. You have neglective parents. You know the types of parenting. You have the neglectful, you have the authoritative, you have the authoritarian, and you have the permissive. Permissive are the ones, obviously, like the word connotes, they are permissive. Anything goes. Those ones are the ones that spoil children. The neglectful, those ones don't have time. And
so busy.
Unfortunately, a lot of fathers fall into that category. Oh, I've paid school fees. Come meet your mommy. Maybe that's
she will do the rest.
You know, a lot of parents are not really in tune with the realities of, you know, their child's life. Then you have the authoritative, which a lot of us growing up back in the days, you know, our parents fell on the strict parents. Because I said so, you must do it. You know, you dare not ask your mommy why. Why should I? But these days, times have changed. We are raising children in. You have to explain. Even a toddler, you're saying, sit down there, don't touch that. What I say, mommy, why? You know,
reasons.
Exactly. And then we have the authoritative. Those are the ones that set the rules and then they explain.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So experts will say authoritative, being an authoritative parent is the best kind of parent, and I'll say yes, it is. But for me, from experience, I would say when you have more than one child, you really cannot use the same parenting style because every child is different. So you have to study your child and then parent according to, you know, to that child's personality.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but to say you want to parent, of course there will be general rules, but every child will have his or her own tailored parenting style.
So on the aspect of why I'm going to call to you in is on the aspect of different types. How to you know, parent with different types. You said one authoritative, authoritarian, the permissive, and all of that. So this brings me to the two types of the traditional versus the modern parenting. I will obviously say you're a modern parent. Do you understand? Compare. But which would you say is better? Because for me, I'm just saying
the way you were trained or the way your parents are training their kids now.
Because we've seen a lot of things. I was giving an example before you came on, and I was saying back then, you did not walk past somebody who's older than you, an elderly person, and not greet, like bow your head.
Relative,
or even somebody in your neighborhood. Do you understand? Back then, like we always say, there was community parenting.
Of course.
I'll tell your mother.
They could beat you before your mom comes back.
Thank you very much. That's one. Secondly, on the aspect of eye contact, our mothers. Let's forget our father.
My own children say, "Mommy, what's wrong with eyes?"
So which would you say is better, or which would you say?
So my own whatever, I use a combination of both.
Okay.
I still feel as much as we're in this woke generation, modern parenting, we still need a bit of that old school parenting style. Sometimes you just need to. And sometimes, you know, so I love the carrot and stick approach. You beat with the left, you hug with the right.
Okay.
So I'm for a combination of both the old method and the new method. Because the children of these days, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Because I feel they are different. Of course they are different, they are different. The dynamics, we can't really raise our children the way our parents raised us because that world no longer exists. So you have to move with the times, and sometimes you have to borrow from our parents' time. But to really say you want to parent them with exactly the way our parents, no, you will lose that child, in my opinion. So you take a bit of that hardcore parenting and blend it with the soft core and just, you know, package it together.
Beautiful. So you said something, sorry Mitch, you said something when you started. I said I was going to come back to it. You not being your child's friend, but using the friendship method to train your child. I think I'm of the opinion that friendship is needed. So I need to explain that word to me.
Your child already, if you know how you are with your friend, your friend cannot really have that authority over you because they're like paddies. So that's why I said there's time to be the friend. And there's time to be the parent. But you cannot leave that parenting toga and wear friendship toga. But you can use friendship as a tool. Meaning, what I mean by that is you have to draw your child close. You know, and for me, I think one of the best ways to raise your child is to raise your child the way you wished your parents had raised you. So, friendship, be your child's friend. I don't want to say be your child's friend. It's a bit tricky. You have to draw that child close. And one of the ways you can have your child really learn from you, apart from the fact that children model you, you are like mirrors, is what they see you do, is tell them your life story. Tell them your mistakes. You have to demystify that fact that mommy is perfect, dad is perfect. You know, when we were growing up, our parents would say, I took first.
Yeah.
Took first. So who took last? You know, so tell your children the truth. Tell them your mistakes. I mean, with raising girls, if you have children who are adolescent or teens or pre-teens, when you see them start to battle with body images, we all went through that. You tell them your stories. Tell them how you used to feel that, oh, because you're not blossoming like your peers, you used to feel timid. But tell them at the end of the day, everybody will blossom. You know, at the end of the day, everybody will catch up. We just grow at different times. So share your life experiences, demystify that fact that mommy is perfect, dad is perfect. Let them see your flaws as well. And then when you make mistakes, even when you accuse them wrongly, when you realize that you were wrong, apologize.
Okay.
Yes. That part is very hard.
That part is very.
It's very hard.
You
know, that's why I said we have a lot of unlearning. You know, all those things our parents. This digital age, you just have to go with the times.
I remember when a friend of mine, you know, there was money was missing from his home. You know, about back then, it was more big money. 50,000 was big money back then. So the father thought he was the one. The father beat the hell out of him.
Wow.
Beat. At the end of the day, maybe after probably like 2-3 weeks, and I found this money somewhere, maybe in his safe or his store.
Wow.
Man did not apologize. Like his mother, you know, women always come down.
Yeah, they have their ways.
Came to meet the Oga. You beat this guy wrongly. Why don't you? He said he's sure that the boy took the money and went
to fix it back.
Do you understand? So it fell on the guy's self-esteem for a long period. Like it's something you still have to gist me even now that we are adults and everything. I was like, you did not.
And you see, those kind of things will make them exchange. That's why you have a lot of forced conversations between fathers and sons. Imagine you trying to make up in your 60s or 70s. The conversations will be so awkward. Hello, how are you? Bye. You know, you're forcing it. Yes. That's why once you lose that bond from that childhood, forget it. You've lost it. Except something, maybe a very life-changing something happens. And then everybody comes back. But you really cannot repair it. The same thing about trust. Your child will tell you some things. And you know, as moms, the first thing you just like, let me just play like a devil's advocate. Your child tells you, Mom, I've missed my period. This is you that is like Christian mother, you've done your best. I'm sure your first reaction will be, Jesus, I'm dead. You've disgraced me. So such a child will withdraw.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes our first reactions to when they open up and tell us things or when we discover things can make or mar. It may make the child withdraw or say more. So let's try. I know it's hard. I remember the first time I heard my children say the word sex. They were 6. And it was just they were discussing in the room. I was in the parlor. Our parlor is just near their room. And I overheard them saying it. So my first reaction was like, God, I'm dead. Because my plan was to discuss it from maybe 8, 9, 10. And then I entered the room. I was just telling myself, Jane, calm down. I said, who was talking about sex? They now pointed. I said, what happened? They said, our classmates, I've forgotten the girl's name, mentioned it. I said, what did they say is sex? And they said, the Shah mentioned one thing. I almost died. So this is children of 6. This is just to tell you that there's really no small child again now.
Yeah.
So we have to do our best to protect their innocence for as long as we can.
How do you even come up with the conversation of sex? Because it's a very I don't know, people just say
it's a conversation that parents really run away. They shy away from.
But
because they can't discuss
But guess what? What you don't tell them, the world will teach them.
The world will
and you will not have control over the narrative.
Because you're not the first contact.
You are not the first contact.
You're right.
You are not the first contact. So it's better you say it. Of course, you can't be teaching a 6-year-old sex. What you'll be teaching a 6-year-old is body safety, child body safety.